Mind of the Meanie is now an exclusive brand partner with WWEshop.com. Pick up all your favorite new merchandise from Roman Reigns.
Acknowledge me.
Cody Rhodes.
I have to finish the story.
LA Knight.
Let me talk to you.
And more using our exclusive link in the show notes. Click below and show your support today for your favorite WWE superstar at WWEshop.com.
Yeah!
Dr. Fisher's Medical Weight Loss and Aesthetic Centers, along with Mind of the Meanie podcast, presents Meanie Mania, the pay-per-brew kickoff event, Thursday night, April 4th, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m., 21 and older to attend with no cover at McCusker's Tavern on the corners of 17th and Shunk at 2601 South 17th Street in South Philly. Come hang out with ECW Original and WWE alumni the Blue Meanie at his favorite bar on the planet, McCusker's Tavern. McCusker's is the perfect spot to kick off your Mania week and go to for a pre- and post-wrestling event hang. Remember, McCusker's is cash only, but they do have an ATM on site. Lyft, Uber, and taxi services are highly recommended to and from McCusker's. 7 minutes from Lincoln Financial Field, 10 minutes from the 2300 Arena, and 15 minutes from Center City. Meanie Mania is also brought to you by Dr. Fisher's Medical Weight Loss and Aesthetic Centers on 2543 South Broad Street in Philadelphia. Go to bodybyfishernow.com. That's bodybyfishernow.com. Mind of the Meanie podcast drops every Monday morning at 6 a.m. and find our entire archive at mindofthemeanie.com. Meanie Mania, the pay-per-brew kickoff event, Thursday night, April 4th, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Meanie!
Yes, sir.
I have a poem for you. Are you ready?
Ready as I've ever, ready as I'll never be.
I'm going to use my Sam Krebs impression. Roses are red. Violets are blue. Trim your balls and your date will thank us too. What's up, fellas? Valentine's Day is knocking, and Manscaped is the remedy for what the Love Doctor ordered. His prescription? The all-new Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, designed to elevate your grooming game and shine like the heartthrob that you are. So join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. So go to manscaped.com and snag 20% off plus free shipping by using the promo code MIND. Meanie, I'll tell you, I've had some accidents before with Little John on the East Side boys. I haven't had any now. I had a bush that looks like I have a clown in a headlock, and there's no more problems now anymore with Manscaped. So tell me, sir, how are you getting ready for Valentine's Day?
This Valentine's Day, I will not be a stupid Cupid. I will be using my Performance Package 5.0 Ultra to keep the bushel nice and kept around the hedges. So when it comes to that special time, my special loved one, there will not be no embarrassing mistakes or anything. It'll be a great time thanks to Manscaped.
That's right. Let's talk about the hero of Valentine's Day, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. The electric trimmer features skin-safe technology, guarding your V-Day treasure against any grooming mishaps. So Little John and the East Side boys will be the safest they've ever been. It also comes with their brightest LED spotlight yet. It's brighter than your best romantic smile, perfect for precise grooming even in the trickiest spots. Oh, and also, Meanie, I don't know if you know this, but it's waterproof too.
What?
I know, right? Making shower shaves an absolute breeze. But hey, that's not everything the Love Doctor ordered. This package also contains the Weed Whacker 2.0 nose hair trimmer, Manscaped's liquid formulations, and 2 free goodies. The Shed Travel Bag and Boxers 2.0, because comfort is king for all my dogs. And for a happy ending, there's the Manscaped Refined Cologne. It's the Valentine's Day touch for your grooming routine. Elevate that grooming routine and set the stage for a romantically smooth celebration. And also for guys like us, the Bearded Kings, Manscaped brings you the Beard Hedger Pro Kit, designed to shape your scruff effortlessly. It sculpts your cheek lines and maintains beard styles, giving you that suave look for your romantic moments, seamlessly handling even thicker beards, pal. It's the perfect tool for a polished, date-ready appearance. So go right now today. What are you waiting for? Get 20% off plus free shipping by using the promo code MINDMeanie at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com and use promo code MINDMeanie because your grooming upgrade awaits you. Ready to charm your Valentine's date. And we want to thank Manscaped for sponsoring the program.
This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome everyone to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
Oh, man. What a week. What a week.
Yeah.
Any news? Anything going on?
Honestly, I'm struggling for things to talk about this week, man. I won't lie. Like, there's just such a little amount of news that's been occurring since the last time we spoke.
Yeah, there was a press conference, and then TNA had a thing, and then a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, dude, there is a ton of shit happening in the world right now. It is crazy to think about how quickly things can change from week to week. You know, But the thing I preach to everybody is patience, right? Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, they're screwing Cody, this, that, and the other thing. And I get the passion. I get it. And I can't be mad because it's cool to see fans be fans, right? So, but, the week before on SmackDown, Cody came out and confronted Roman and said he's going to finish the story, but not at WrestleMania. And then The Rock comes out and, Rock talks in his ear, kind of like Bill Murray at the end of Lost in Translation.
Yeah. Great reference. Great reference.
What'd he say to her? And then it was just like, the fan base was angry, and understandably, and it was a little confusing. But to me, it just seemed like another bit of a diversion to build up more attention for this main event.
Right. Right.
They've done stuff, over the year, where like Cody and Roman's paths, have, crossed in the aisleway and stuff like that. So he comes out to talk to Roman and says that, and the fans are mad, and it's so weird. It's like pro wrestling is like more of a reality TV show than a reality TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, they'd be like, oh, what's he stepping aside for? In the 80s, you'd be like, oh, what's he stepping aside for?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what's going on. But, in 2024, people are like, oh, the office is screwing them, just creative and this, that, and the other thing. It's like, God damn, man.
God damn.
It's frustrating as somebody who's, come up in the days of where, people just worried about the storyline aspect and not the behind the scenes stuff. And then, I was the talk of the industry. And you know what? It was a good piece of business because, positive or negative, WWE wants people talking about the company.
Yeah.
There was the hashtag We Want Cody and all that stuff. And, that's a great piece of business too, because people who are, maybe not even fans of WWE see this hashtag, oh, what's this? We Want Cody. And they look into it and they're like, oh, this guy's getting screwed. Maybe I'll tune in. Let me see what this is about. And they draw in, casual viewers, that might not have, had interest in this year's WrestleMania. Not that they're going to buy tickets, but they can watch on the cock.
You can pull it up on the cock and check it out.
Yeah, you can whip out the cock and watch it. And, but yeah, and then, flash forward to, they announced a press event at a press event in Las Vegas, which was another brilliant move because that's where this weekend Super Bowl is, and the eyes of the world are. So, if you want the press to cover, you go to where they are. and everybody's in Vegas. So, and dude, I had no idea that you made the trek out there because you said you were. I was like, you're like, I think I'm about going out there. I was like, ooh, that might be a little stiff as far as like airfare and the hotel because Super Bowl weekend. I'm sure they're going to price gouge you on the flight and stuff. And but hey, man, you went, and I haven't talked to you since then, so I'm interested to see your take and experience of going to the press event.
It was well, to quantify what you've been saying, because I've been waiting to talk to you about this. I had purposefully didn't message you about the Cody Rock business because, again, we don't, like anybody that's listening, we don't plan our shows in advance. Like sometimes we'll get like specific tidbits or like, hey, we want to talk about this, or no, we don't want to talk about that. But generally speaking, we just freeform here, right? And I think it makes for a much better dynamic for us and for the show. But there are some things that, like, some things will happen with Meanie and some things will happen with me, and we'll purposefully like leave each other out of the loop so that way we can make it real time as we record, right? But to quantify what you're saying, like as far as newsworthy items, right? You have to think about it like this. Like and again, like I was firmly in the camp of we want Cody, right? I was like, there's no fucking way they're going to do this shit again. I can't believe this crap. And to be clear, like I'm not actually like mad at The Rock, right? Like I don't have any actual like physical heat with Dwayne, right? I think Dwayne is a super cool fucking dude. Like all the great shit he does, all the goodwill that he puts out there. Like there's no reason for me to hate the guy. I just hate the creative, right? I hated what they were doing there. After a couple of days, though, maybe like 24, 36 hours, I started to like think about it. And I tried to think about it like in the Meanie style, where I was like, as a booker, I'm like, wait a second. Something seems off about this. The fact that like my dead giveaway was that Rock was purposefully no-selling all of the stuff that people were saying online. He was just posting shit, right? And as soon as I saw him posting like one or two things, I was like, this is a work. This is a work. Like there's no way that they weren't fucking planning this from the beginning, right? From the time Dwayne came on. So, and to your point about the newsworthy stuff, like before we get into Vegas, like, and even in the chat here, by the way, go and sign up today, patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. You can go and sign up today. Tier starting at just $10. You can join us free and watch us every week as we record. But Lucha, one of our Pod Squad members, Lucha, is in here and says, hats off to WWE. My grandmother was asking me about Cody Rhodes and The Rock. One of the largest podcasts in the world, the most listened to podcast in the world who never talk about wrestling. The Joe Budden podcast was talking about Cody Rhodes and The Rock. ESPN, TMZ, Sports Illustrated. I mean, we're talking about the who's who of the industry. They just played a clip last night about Bob Costas and Bill Maher on, what's that show that he does? It's not politically incorrect. What's the hell's the name of that show he does on HBO? Real Time. There was a wrestling segment with Bob Costas and Bill Maher. I just literally saw it about 20 minutes before we went live here. So you're talking about ingraining and embedding into mainstream media. Nate Smite's here too. He said, my boss, who isn't a wrestling fan, bought WrestleMania tickets just to see The Rock. They know exactly what the fuck they're doing, man.
Yep.
And so I last minute, I texted Meanie and I was like, I think I'm going to go to this Vegas thing. And we had the same conversation, right? Luckily, I have an ace in the hole when it comes to travel. I got a really good, amazing deal. So I flew out to Vegas, and I went with Muscle Man Malcolm, picked him up again at like 2:30 in the morning in Westchester, and we flew out. It was like a 36-hour ordeal. The reason that we went out there was some confusion with WWE communications and the press team. Shout out to the press team, one of the best and most professional teams I've ever worked with. They're fantastic over there. Originally, there was supposed to be some kind of media opportunities for the media who was going to be there. Because there was such an overwhelming response to this event, they had to like shut it down. So a lot of us flew out there thinking we were going to get an opportunity to talk to Seth or, Cody or anybody. And those opportunities weren't available. When we were getting ready to leave, they were like, listen, like, honestly, like we had this all planned out to be one way. And then we saw so many people, like there were people that didn't RSVP that showed up. And it was like, we have this much time to do this. And there's so many people that are here. So like, I get it. Like it is what it is. It's like, okay, I still got to be there to experience the event.
Some people crashed the event.
That's what it sounds like, yeah. But like, everybody had wristbands and shit, and like they were like, we literally only have enough room for these people to do this. And it's like ESPN and Fox Sports and all like the big names that showed up, right? So I say all that to say the energy in the room was...
Yeah, take us there.
So we get in, me and Malcolm are sitting like 2 seats from the front. They had the VIP experience people in the front, and then the media seats started the second row. So somehow Malcolm and I got in the second row, and you could already sort of start to feel it, right? Like it was like a heavy, almost like if you ever been at a concert, and it almost feels like the room is moving, like it's vibrating, right? Rocky sucks. We want Cody. Rocky sucks. I mean, just from the rafters everywhere. The place was jam-packed with people. CM Punk comes out with Big E and Pat McAfee and Michael Cole doing all this stuff. So he's riling up the crowd with all the shit he's saying, right? He's taking pot shots at Seth. He's taking pot shots at Rock, right? So he's riling up, poking the bear. And so it was like people were waiting, right? Like everybody loved to see Bianca and Rhea and Becky and the whole segments they did. But once Seth came out, you kind of knew like, okay, we're in the mix of it here, right? And as Seth's coming out, he's doing his shtick. Roman shows up, and then Rock comes out to this thunderous. I mean, it felt like I was back in 1998 watching the Attitude Era. Like genuinely, like it was half the crowd was cheering, half the crowd was booing, and he was just taking it in. And like you see it on TV, and you kind of get an idea of like his response and his facial expressions and shit. But it was very divided crowd. And then Cody came out after they put the big, Anawai family tree on there, the bloodline, and they did the whole shtick there. And when Cody announced he was going to fight Roman, the place fucking exploded. Like it was very loud. It was kind of pandemonium, man. It was like, for lack of a better word, it was awesome. Exactly what I think they were going for. It was exactly what I think WWE was looking to do and the response that they were looking to get. And I want to get your opinion on this again, sort of to tie in. If anyone who hasn't watched it, go ahead and pull up the cock and go ahead and watch the WrestleMania Kickoff. But don't do that in public because you'll get arrested. Again, this is what you listen to us for. We give you these tips. But it seems like they, Rock turned heel. Obviously, he smacked the fucking taste out of Cody's mouth. He went heel, and they're building up for the segment between Rock and Roman, or together collaboratively, if you will, to potentially do something with Cody and Seth. As someone who booked some, wrestling before, and someone who's been in the industry, do you think that this was the plan all along, or do you think they pivoted based upon the responses that they got online? What did you take away from all this?
Well, that's the beauty of wrestling. Nothing's set in stone or concrete or whatever you want to put it. I think they definitely wanted a reaction.
Right.
That's the thing about good workers. They see the reaction and they gauge what to do next based on that reaction from the crowd. As we say in their business, call it in the ring, And I'm not sure if that was 100% what they expected. I'm sure they expected some kind of outrage. When Cody said he wasn't finishing the story at WrestleMania. And I think during the week, they just gauged the room, gauged the response, and, booked accordingly. Yeah, I mean, because you always hear about, you go to Raw and there's like 2 or 3 rewrites, But, I'm sure there was a few rewrites during the week. And, I'm still not 100% that Rock turned heel. I think they're going to probably set something up to where Roman does something to piss off Rock. Mm-hmm. Rock pivots back towards babyface, and then kind of is there for Cody, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I think we're still maybe a month, 2 months out.
2, yeah. I think we're just under 2 months now.
Yeah, I'm blurred between my countdown for WrestleMania and my countdown for baseball.
When do pitchers and catchers report?
Yeah. Soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, wins pitchers and catchers, wins WrestleMania. It's thrown me off there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think eventually by the time it gets to WrestleMania, Roman will have done something to annoy The Rock. And The Rock has to go, back full baby face. I can understand where The Rock was like, family, tradition, blood oath. They're trying to do this thing for the family. And then I think Roman's going to be the young guy, the new Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Not Jerome Young, but like the new Jack on the block, the new young Samoan.
I'm glad you quantified that because I was queuing up Natural Born Killers. I was going to let it play through the rest of the show. So I'm glad you clarified that for me. Thank you.
But like he's going to be like the new head with the old head. He's going to say something to piss the old head off. The old head be like, excuse me, kind of thing. Kind of like how he was excuse me to Cody when Cody was like, your family would be so disappointed in you right now. I think, he was aligning with Roman just to do this thing that their families had promised. But then Cody comes, and Cody quantified it by saying how your families would be disappointed. He slaps.
Man, what a fucking moment to in that fucking moment watching Rock. And again, as Meanie's point here, look for the story part of it as well, guys. Watch the little fucking intricacies, right? When if you're looking at the screen, Cody's on one side, Roman's on the other, and he's doing the whole your family would be disappointed. And all of a sudden, Rock comes out of the screen, out of view, and just stands right in front of Roman, almost staggered this way, right? They're doing that for a reason. There's a reason why. There's a reason why he pointed out that he was the high chief a couple of times. There's a reason why that was listed on the screen, right? I fully agree with what you're going to say. Go ahead. Finish what you're going to say, and I'll take mine.
Yeah. Roman's going to say something about his position in the 23andMe pie chart that they showed on the screen.
The Venn diagram of the family, yeah.
Yeah, 23andMe, I was hoping Cody would have said something about that, called it out, but he, like you said, he called himself the high chief a few times, and Roman's going to say something, and it's going to annoy The Rock, and The Rock's going to be like, hold on, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm the one who built this, or, I'm the one who, I've been here kind of thing, as far as the Samoan dynasty. And, eventually it'll be Cody Roman with, I don't know if Rock's going to be a special enforcer kind of thing. Because I don't know if Rock is going to have a one-on-one match. Somebody was saying something about maybe a tag, but who knows? But and that's what WWE wants. They want us speculating. They want us talking about it. They want us, to put eyeballs on the product. This is exactly what they want. They want everybody talking about WWE and WrestleMania coming up here in Philly. Yeah. So, and, everybody's coming to Philly for Meanie Mania. So it's just
Thursday night, April 4th.
Is 7-2.
Come and see us, McCusker's Tavern.
Yes, sir.
If you missed the ad, stop this right now. Take a marker, or a pen. You don't want to write on your phone, right? They write it on your hand, maybe. Get your timestamp, and then go back to the beginning of the episode and listen to the ad and get all the details, and then let us know you'll be there, and then come back and listen to us again. So we'll see you in a few. But
yes,
with everyone being in town for Meanie Mania and your Hall of Fame induction and WrestleMania. I will literally fucking cartwheel. I will take a video of myself cartwheeling and trying to do a backflip if we get the news that you're going to the Hall of Fame. I mark it down, Nate. I know you're here. Write it down and hold me to it. But I will say, I think what's going to happen is very similar to what you said, right? I feel like there's going to be this power struggle between Rock and Roman. They're going to plant the seeds right now at the first, before the Elimination Chamber. Defending family and all this stuff, but there's going to be something that happens between Rock and Roman And the big payoff is going to be at WrestleMania, right? During the main event. You're gonna have the schmaz, the bullshit with Solo. You're going to have the bullshit with Jimmy and Jay. And then all of a sudden, Rock comes out and costs Roman the match.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the time when they start building Roman towards the face turn. Because once he loses that, what does he have? Right? And I think the plan is eventually going to be turning Roman face, and Rock is going to be this really great heel in the industry. And I will say, to your point too, Rock actually responded to some political thing earlier today on Twitter, which he never does that kind of stuff. Somebody had some really nasty shit to say about him and his charity, this stuff in Maui. It's just total bullshit. And inside of the response, he said this was in response to me turning heel. So he did confirm that he actually did turn heel in that moment in the show. So it's like, I can't remember the last time I've been. And I really think, I think the Chamber is going to be something with Cody and Seth and Rock and Roman, because I don't think they would have put Seth in the position at the press conference, or the media event rather, to have him be left out of this story, because he was like, just because you're on the fucking board doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. I mean, they were being there, listening to them cuss at each other was like, holy shit, dude. And, I come home and Mrs. Goober, who has not been a wrestling fan as long as I have, she's watching this and she's looking at me, she's going, how much of this is real? And I'm like, it's all the work. And what they're doing is, it's how they've been able to pull this off. Because you asked me that, it means that it's working exactly as they planned. Because now you're curious, right?
Yeah. I see Rock going back babyface, Roman remaining heel, and then I see Roman Rock at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
They're going to need a big money pay. Where is SummerSlam this year?
They haven't announced yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they haven't said that. And I would imagine they'll probably announce SummerSlam at the Chamber. Because typically, don't they announce at WrestleMania the location for the following year's WrestleMania?
Yeah.
So I would think maybe they hold it for 41, the match between Roman and Rock. That just seems like a long build. But Rock's been very open about saying excuse me, here for the long game. So it's like,
we'll see.
I don't know, man. But let us know what you think. If you agree with Meanie Niner, if you think we're totally off fucking base, drop a comment for us. Like and subscribe as you're listening to this on YouTube, and leave a comment so the algorithms will boost us up. Or tweet it at us. Let us know. If you're like, guys, you guys are fucking idiots, please be nice. I cry about some of those mean comments. So please be nice to us, but let us know what you think. And we will respond to you on the show. But I wanted to ask you also, too, there was a big shakeup at TNA almost at the same time. They released a longtime president of, I guess, TNA, Scott D'Amore. What were your thoughts on that? Well, that was pretty shocking.
Seemed out of nowhere. I'm not going to lie. I don't really follow TNA because basically you need a special cable. Their cable channel's hard to find. You know, it's not necessarily easy to find TNA. Television. You need was it Access TV?
I think it's Access is what it's called. Yeah, I don't know I don't have it on YouTube TV, so I think it might be a special app or something, but I haven't been able to find it. Meanie!
Yes, sir.
Fantasy football champs as well. Our friends at Manscaped want to congratulate you on making it to the 2024 playoffs. As for the rest, well, the fantasy gods have spoken, and it's time to shave off that didn't make the cut playoff beard. No more hiding behind facial hair. Embrace the clean slate with Manscaped's Beard Hedger, because nothing should be as unruly as your failed trade strategies. Embrace victory and join the 10 million men who trust Manscaped with our special offer. Go to manscaped.com and use promo code MindMeanie for 20% off and plus free shipping. Meanie, I want to ask you about your first impressions of the Beard Hedger and how it's helped keep the Meanie beard looking fresh and spotless.
The beard hedger has been a game changer. I'm known worldwide for this beard, and the beard hedger helps me keep it neat, keep it clean. I got my own custom settings for the guard, so I could get the same exact cut each and every time. I love the beard hedger, and I don't know where my life has been without it.
And I know that I have enjoyed it very well. Keeps the goober beard looking nice and tight here as well in between my visits to the barbershop. So gentlemen, tidy up your act with a clean shave before you draft your way to redemption next season. Manscaped is the ultimate franchise player to take your face to the end zone with the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. This package has made it easier than ever to craft your signature look and is a premium beard sculpting machine. It features the Beard Hedger cordless trimmer. It has one guard with 20 different lengths, 20 meanie, and it's waterproof. That's right, no more drawers full of 20 different guards. Shower shave as much as your heart desires. Don't just shave, indulge in the liquid luxury. Our kit includes specially crafted formulations to keep your beard looking brilliant. And lastly, Meanie, as a bonus, Manscaped has thrown in a beard accessory pack that comes with the beard brush, beard comb, and beard scissors for the finishing touches every modern bearded gentleman deserves. So get 20% off plus free shipping by using our promo code MindMeanie at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com and use promo code MindMeanie. Get ready for fantasy football off-season like a true grooming champion with the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. You're not just shaping your beard, you're crafting a winning look. Manscaped.com. Use promo code MindMeanie, and we want to thank them, as always, for sponsoring the program.
Yeah, I think, it's definitely on, like, if you have Comcast or whatever, but yeah, it's strange. I've known Scott since I started wrestling. I started training at Al School, and Scott would come down from Windsor to do Al shows, and I always see Scott. Scott was literally on my first, one of my first matches. After my first match against a guy named Gaza Coleman, who wrestled as Kodiak, the Kodiak Bear. There's been a couple Kodiak Bears, but he was one of them. And then on the same show, they had like their version of the Royal Rumble, and Scott was in there, and me and Scott, he was on my first show.
Wow.
So I know Scott forever, and he's worked his way up, and he's scratched and clawed his way up the ladder to where he's going from doing WWE, WCW TVs as a worker, running his own promotion in a school out of Windsor, which is right across the river from Detroit, and building up talent. And then he, joins TNA and, works his way up the ladder there and becomes president. And it's just so weird because it seems like TNA's just started to turn a corner to where they came in, kind of strong in the beginning. Mm-hmm. In the early days, when they're doing the weekly pay-per-views, and then they, get TV on, Fox Sports Net or whatever that channel was, and they bounced around, and then they had their spike years, but and then they kind of had a falling off, like where it's just like, nobody really was talking about them. And then, people have been talking about TNA a lot lately. And I think that's attributed to Scott D'Amore's leadership and ability to, mentor talent, talk to talent, build talent, and negotiate to bring talent in. I'm sure, Nick Nemeth, is there because of Scott and Scott's ability to, handle talent. And so, the word is that it was a budget thing. Scott wanted to bring in bigger talent. Reportedly he also, rumor is, he was trying to bring in, folks like CM Punk and Sasha Banks, well, whatever, Mercedes Moné. He wanted to bring in those talents, but the company didn't want to spend that kind of money. And then there's also a rumor that he approached TNA about buying the company with he had a financial institution that was willing to back him to buy the company. So, well, I don't know if we'll ever truly find out what the cause was. If somebody, turns your business around, you kind of want to keep them around.
Right.
And it seems counterintuitive and counterproductive, if he's done that. And just to see the outpouring from the talent, we once got, we once got Demore, we once got, thank you, Scott, fans and wrestlers alike who were giving Scott his flowers. So it's weird. It's weird to think that, a guy who's done so much to help build, give the company more credibility when they were kind of, TNA, well, it's been Impact for a couple of years. I never stopped calling it TNA. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It was kind of a joke. Just not because of the wrestlers, but because of the way it was run.
Right. Right.
Just, how Dixie ran it, and, after that. But, Scott made TNA respectable and reputable. And the fact that he's not there is just, I'm just waiting for more to come out. It's just got to be a reason more. There's got to be more to it than, the guy who just, brought the company back and had probably one of the best their pay-per-views in recent history.
Yeah.
And then just to let the guy go, it's just crazy. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm just waiting to see, there's got to be more to it. I don't even care to speculate on what it could be, but Scott's a good dude. So it makes no sense to me to let somebody go who's, turned that company around like that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what else is out there. Like if there's something else happened, is there something else people aren't aware of? Like what's happening in TNA? And not in like those kind of terms. I just mean like, are they prepping the company for a sale? Are there business aspects that are happening behind the scenes that we aren't privy to? That perhaps Anthem is like, no, we're getting ready to turn this. Sometimes in corporate America, they'll restructure or reorganize some of their corporate leadership in order to prepare for, like we saw with WWE, right? Vince comes back in and he does the board, and then all of a sudden the company's for sale. Like, is that something that happened? Hey,
I'll say it right now. What if WWE is looking to buy TNA?
That would be something, wouldn't it?
I mean, the last two premium live events, they had a TNA champion on their show. And
testing the market.
Jordan Grace was in the Women's Royal Rumble for a pretty long time. And TNA's got a really good tape library.
Mm-hmm.
With a lot of the people who are currently with TNA.
Yeah.
Like AJ Styles. Who's to say that they're not, Scott approached to buying the company and they're like, oh, nah, cool. We already have some, that's nice.
Yeah, that's good. That's great.
Yeah, we already have something lined up. And, what's to say that, sale to WWE is not imminent, without, so, let me say it now. Let me get it out into the ether in case that's exactly the case. So one day we wake up and Mike Johnson, announces the sale of TNA to Endeavor.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like it could be a potential new arm, a third arm, if you will, of the TKO brand. I don't necessarily know that if they would merge the companies necessarily. Like I don't think TNA would go away in that regard. No. I think that it would benefit WWE and TKO to keep it separate, but also utilize some of the other platforming that WWE has. I think there's enough of a market for TNA wrestling to put it on something like Peacock or another streaming service, right? And add the TNA library to the Peacock app, right? Like I think you could absolutely do that. Because again, remember, you're not just talking about AJ Styles, you're talking about Kevin Nash, you're talking about Scott Steiner, you're talking about a bunch of Kurt Angle, a ton of Kurt Angle's career, Sting, like all of these career moves. Right. I mean, you're talking about a ton of people, a ton of amazing talent that is just embedded inside of whatever TNA is, their app or their streaming services are. I think it would benefit them greatly to have that library, but also it makes it easier for them to like kind of move around, and like, suppose what happens if like they're like, oh, AJ Styles wants to go back to Hard to Kill TNA, wants to main event that before the end of his career. Well, now he can because they're part of the fucking TNA or rather the TKO circle. Yeah. I don't see why that would be. I don't see why that would be a problem, right?
Makes all the sense of the world. A, you would have their tape library, and B, it's another place for talent to go.
Right.
When AEW bought Ring of Honor, I was like, well, you got all these guys getting paid.
Yeah.
This is another avenue to keep those guys busy while they're, you're waiting for them to do something in AEW. Have guys do Ring of Honor stuff. That way they're staying in ring shape. A lot of people, you see all these injuries happening, and injuries happen when, due to lack of, physicality, you got to build up, to do what, wrestlers do in the ring, you need to build up that callus. And, if you're doing it, infrequently, and that's when the injuries happen and stuff like that. So, that's why I loved when AEW bought Ring of Honor. Now, if WWE never buys TNA,
right?
That's just another place for talent to go. They got all this talent, keep them in ring shape, keep them sharp, and they can go over do the TNA thing. And then once you come up with something from with WWE, then you bring them back over and maybe swap out talent,
right?
And
right,
you're constantly having your talent do something, just so they're not sitting on the sidelines, gathering rust.
Right. There's an entirely new world to open up between those companies, right? And you keep the lineage of the belts alive. Like you're not merging in the way that the WCW titles were merged with WWE. Like everything stays separate. I mean, imagine if that does happen, right?
I think they learned their lessons from buying WCW too.
100%. 100%.
They should have, if they bought it, they should have just kept it a separate entity.
Yeah.
Send JR over there to run WCW.
Yep.
That's what they should have done. Run different live events and stuff like that. So with TNA, they could easily do that and keep it separate. Buy it, keep it separate. Have folks go over there and run that. Have Steve Corino go over there and be the boss over there at TNA and run it, because he's they're prepping Corino to be a bigwig. He could be the TNA version of Michael Hayes over there. So
yeah,
it's just I don't know anything. I'm just going by instinct and seeing what I'm seeing and trying to read the tea leaves. The way somebody a guy tries to predict the stock market.
Yeah,
it would be a smart move. Dude, they bought WCW for like $2 million. And basically just for the tape library, they threw the rings and the sets in the trash. They just wanted the tape library. And with TNA, they got a extensive time. They've been around for 20 years?
About 20 years now, yeah.
20 years worth of content, that they could draw from and talent. Like I said, Jordan Grace was in that Royal Rumble for a long time, and I think that was by design to see if she can hang. And they saw the crowd reaction to her and stuff like that. So they think they have something there with TNA. So I can see WWE / Endeavor, purchasing it, just as another brand.
Yeah.
Another form of content.
And I think you're right to your point too. Before we slide into our favorite topic, our favorite part of the show, rather,
Yes.
I think you're right. I think that was one of the biggest sins of the WCW purchase was the fact that they deaded the brand. Folks who weren't around then watching at the time may not know, but like WCW's creative was the shits. Like it wasn't good. It wasn't good. But the brand itself was still there. Like it was still a marketable property. And for every person, it's like, oh, well, the brand was dead and it was a dead IP. Like you could have easily rebooted that. I think there was still enough goodwill towards WCW where you could have taken it off the air for 6 months, right? Reinvigorated it, right? Like you said, take JR or even Cornette or somebody who was involved and say, hey, you guys are in charge down here. This is a separate entity. We run it now. But I want it to be separate, like completely separate from what we do. You could have found TV time for Nitro, especially if you have an entirely different creative team, if you have an entirely different roster full of people, right? Like you could have done it.
You have to have relationship with USA Network,
right?
NBC. They see the success that they've had with WWE. I mean, have 605 on USA Network,
Right, like Thursday Nitro or Wednesday night. Like you could have done anything, right? And I think that to me, like, and I know like we've talked about it before. That's what Vince, reportedly had said that was his biggest regret in business was purchasing WCW. I think if this does happen now, if they do pick up TNA, I think that's exactly what's going to happen is they're going to say, nope, we're going to leave it separate. It should be its own separate thing. How many of our team can we get over there from a corporate structure to run the show? Because again, like it's guaranteed money too. Like Endeavor's not going out of business. Like TKO is a brand new fucking thing. They have the capital and the resources in order to keep a brand like TNA afloat. Then when you have like steady TV time, you can then advertise that brand to an entirely new market.
Yeah.
To fucking win-win for everybody, right? So I think that's what's going to happen. Meanie.
What's that, Adam?
We hear this a lot. Every CBD company tells you that their product is the best. With quality control measures like lab testing and QR codes now becoming the standard, it can start to seem like all CBD brands are the same, but I'm here to tell you something, Meanie. They are not. Knowing what makes certain brands better will help you spend your money more wisely and have more confidence as you incorporate CBD oils, topicals, capsules, or gummies into your own wellness routine. And that's why we're proud to partner with Green Road CBD as an official sponsor of Mind of the Meanie. And Meanie, I know you're a longtime user of Green Road CBD. How has Green Road CBD helped you in your life?
Let me tell you, Green Road CBD is a product I've been using for years. And when we started Mind of the Meanie, I always was like, let's get Green Roads as a sponsor because I use them almost daily, whether it's the gummies, to take care of the aches and pains of 30 years of wrestling, the topical solutions that help my knees, help my back, help my elbows, help my shoulders. Green Road CBD has done everything to help me maintain a pain-free existence from all the years of wear and tear as a professional wrestler.
And to me, Meanie, that sounds like the Green Road's difference. And it comes down to a really few important points. They're just part of the reason that they've won industry awards year after year, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and have heard countless stories from customers just like you about the impact that those products have had on your life. So Green Roads is led by a compounding pharmacist with 25 years of experience helping her community getting healthy. For her and the entire company, it's more than just a job, it's a mission. And not all hemp sourcing is equal, Meanie. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. But they select their hemp from high-quality American farms, and also not all lab testing is equal, which is why they use an accredited independent lab to conduct full panel tests on every single batch. And that's why Green Roads is an original manufacturer, not just a quote-unquote white label brand. So right now, you can go to greenroads.com, Meanie, and save 25% off of your entire purchase. Wow. 25% off of everything, Meanie. That's huge. And all you have to do is go to their website right now, greenroads.com, and use promo code MEANIE at checkout. It's 25% off your entire purchase by using promo code MEANIE at greenroads.com. Own the day with Green Road CBD, and we thank them for sponsoring the program. But I do have, if you will entertain me for a second, sir.
Yo, cause.
I have a question.
Yo, cause.
I have a question for you. Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
Don't forget, tweet us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie, and you may hear them on the program. Meanie, I want to know, sir, you got one for us today?
Like I said, it's my ride or die for the next couple months. I got my pumpkin pie Belvie. I'll be drinking this on opening day.
Tailgating that fucking
baseball. Yeah, motherfucker. These motherfuckers was 78 cents a case.
That's right. It's spring, but it feels like fall. Get used to it.
Fall ball.
I have the knockoff sparkling ice shit from Giant today. Actually, I have a black raspberry, which is rather delicious. So we're gonna go ahead and crack these here in 3, 2, 1. There she is. Mm-hmm. I can't really smell it because I'm sick, but I'm imagining it smells pretty good. Oh,
that seems to be the thing. We're so tired. We're running at the speed of smell or whatever.
And there's the name of the episode. Moving at the speed of smell. No, and thank you all for putting up with me. My voice actually held up pretty well today. We had to push our recording time as, inside baseball. I'm battling a really nasty ear infection. So I apologize if you hear me squeak or my voice cracks like I'm 15 again, but we are...
Like your Peter Brady hitting puberty on the Brady Bunch. I'm feeling a little I feel apologies to anybody who heard me pop a halls and during the show, but it's just like allergies, motherfucker. Dude, I'm gonna have to eat something spicy.
Mm-hmm. Oh man,
get some wasabi or something.
I did that yesterday. My wife and I make like eggs and potatoes sometimes on Saturday mornings. There she is.
Bless.
And I put some hot sauce. I guess it's got cayenne or Tabasco or something in it. And it was just like fucking clearing me out, man. I'm telling you, I got back. Like I knew I felt like shit. I thought it was just like a regular cold on Thursday when I got on the plane. And I'm like, all right, like it's just allergies, whatever, It's warm out in February, like something like, why are we surprised we're all sick? But as the day went on, I felt worse and worse and worse. And I'm going, if I have to do these interviews, my voice is going to sound like shit because I barely have a voice, right? Yeah. And then I'm on the plane coming home and I'm like sitting in the plane. I'm sitting on in my seat and my whole body, like when your whole body feels like it's shutting down, like you shut down a computer. It was like, oh my God, like this is a problem. I still have to drive Malcolm home and I have to drive myself home. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Have you checked in with Malcolm to see if he got sick?
Oh, he was fine. As far as I'm aware, he said he was good. I tried to, from what it sounds like I said, I thought it was like the flu. I didn't think it was COVID because it was different symptoms. And it turns out that everything is stemming from my right ear with this ear infection. All of the symptoms I'm having are because of this. I went into the Minute Clinic the other day. Yesterday, rather. I went yesterday morning. He looks in my ear and he literally went, oh. I was like, that's not good. He was like, that's one of the worst ear infections I've seen in quite some time. He was like, here, take all of this. They're throwing amoxicillin at me. So we are feeling good and painting toilets today, sir. So anyone who takes amoxicillin knows that shit clears you out real fast. So we are doing well here. But I got a lot of great questions for us. Again, remember, don't forget to tweet us your questions using a hashtag.
Hello, Vanessa.
What up, Vanessa? Using the hashtag Ask Me.
I didn't mean to step on your toes, but that's my normal reaction to hear Vanessa go, hello.
I was going to say, I saw her coming in, and I was like, oh, I want to make sure we acknowledge her. So Lucha Lechoso wants to know, hey, can I get a shout-out for my birthday? Today is my 36th birthday, and yes, of course, sir.
Happy birthday, Lucha. 36, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
I'm jealous. Be 36 again, but, I feel pretty good for 50. I'll be 51 in May, but
there she is.
Yeah, man. Burp the baby.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Lucha.
Yeah.
Thank you for spending your birthday morning with us. Sorry we don't have any cake. But just know that, as we watched the Super Bowl tonight, we're celebrating in your honor. Mrs. Meanie's making some chili and stuff like that. So I'll have some chili in your honor.
Attaboy.
I don't know if that makes any sense. Just
some celebratory bites of chili for you. We got it.
I'm bad at birthdays, man. I'm bad at birthdays. Seriously, Luca, you're here. You, along with the rest of the Pod Squad, are here each and every week, and you make the show a lot more fun to do with the interactions in the chat room. I love the chat room that goes on. It makes it feel like we're performing, for somebody, and instead of just two guys talking. And that's why I love our Pod Squad,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again for sharing your birthday with us. You didn't have to, but you chose to do so, and that's fucking great. We love it. So I'm going to give you a celebratory and a celebratory.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
And a big old one of these for your birthday, sir. So happy birthday to you, my friend.
I can't believe that part's real, man.
It is, dude. That's what Courtney says to me all the time. She's like, I can't believe that came out of you. And I was like, you should hear the ones that Meanie does. Like, I was just like, I got to record this. There are ones that like... I
got a fart chair,
Dude, there's ones that I'll have and they're just like, they're so loud and violent. Courtney's just, her response every time is, oh my God. Like, how is that real? She'll hear him from upstairs. The kids will be like, are you fucking kidding me, Dad? Listen, that's who I am. I can't change it. That's my body, guys. RJ Krasinski wants to know, what's up, RJ?
What's up, RJ?
Thanks for your questions.
We're roughing it up with RJ.
Every week. They got a big anniversary coming up, too.
Yeah.
What's something 2024 Meanie would tell 1994 Meanie?
That one day the WWE will not have a single McMahon in the company, which would be bizarre. I know people want us to talk about that whole thing, and I'm not looking to talk about it.
Yeah, we're as a note, we don't comment on current legal cases. I know that seems like a cop out, but we're not attorneys. We're not. It's just not our place to do it.
I see a lot of people pontificating, and nobody really goes back and sees what they say before. Like, once the whole legal process plays out, were people right with their initial reactions? And I don't know shit about that to comment on it. But if I had to go, since the question is, what would 2024 Meanie tell 1994 Meanie is, one day, there won't be a single McMahon in the, that company that everybody's calling human cockfighting, they're going to be partnered with WWE.
That is, I think, the craziest.
That UFC was like borderline snuff. It was like a borderline snuff film.
Yeah.
Senator John McCain coming out again, calling it human cockfighting, and
it's crazy. It was a lawless fucking enterprise back in the day. UFC. It was nuts.
Shout out to Dudesy, the podcast Dudesy with Will Sasso and Chad Colchin. They did a watch along of UFC 1.
Oof.
And it's fucking hysterical. Those early UFCs were fucking rough. So, and just to know that they're, once they sold the company, they said, hey, they called up the state athletic commission. It's like, look, what do we got to do to get this thing legal? And, they made a legit sport out of it. But just in 1994, that company they're calling human cockfighting, they're going to be in the same company with WWE, so it's just weird. Yeah. It's weird. Didn't even think of try to think of what next year's going to be. It's hard enough, but in 1994 to envision a company without a McMahon and to see that they're going to be aligned with one of the biggest mixed martial arts company in the world.
Yeah.
It makes sense too, because WWE is the top of pro wrestling, sports entertainment. UFC is the pioneer of MMA. So, you know, in 1994, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, you know.
Excuse me. Marks the Jester 71 wants to know, Meanie, who was your favorite guy to work with in ECW?
Oh my God, all of them. And that sounds like a cop-out answer, but and you know what? You know, after ECW closed and people start running shows, and then the shows were ECW talent heavy, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at these guys trying to relive their glory years." No, we genuinely loved working with each other in ECW. It was a big family atmosphere. But that said, obviously, working with Tracy Smothers every night, you know, after, you know, Stevie and Raven went to WCW, me and Nova kind of floundered, because I think, in my opinion, Paul was like, well, I ain't going to put these guys on our TV just for them to go to WCW as well. Like, I think they were thinking that, you know, me and Nova would be the next ones to go to WCW to be with Raven. So
right.
Once they realized we were sticking around, and you know, we start, reproving ourselves by, you know, Tracy Smothers would have like little dojos before the shows, like go in the ring, work out, you know, do calisthenics, this, that, and the other thing. And, you know, me and Nova started, establishing ourselves as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
We worked with the FBI almost every night, and it just, it was like like they say in the business, it was like a night off, you know?
Yeah.
Learned so much, and it stepped up my game immensely, and it's crazy. It just, yeah. So who did I enjoy work with besides everybody? You know, who did I enjoy working with? The FBI, Tracy Smothers and Little Guido and Tommy Rich.
Mm. Anthony Woods wants to know, I can't remember, but did you ever work with Bam Bam Bigelow? If so, how was it? And any good Bam Bam stories?
Yeah, I worked with Bigelow, but the matches were fairly quick, because I think he was on his run towards the title. So I mean, Bammer was great. For a guy who is that big, that strong, he worked light as a feather.
Mm.
Like you really didn't even feel him, you know. And you know, I got to do stuff with him in Pittsburgh at the Monaca at the Golden Dome, where he did something. Me and Nova did something with him. I had a singles match with him in Blackwood, New Jersey at the CYO. I did a few things with him. Something up in the Boston area. And he picked me up for his finisher, the Greetings from Asbury Park. He just picked me up like I was an infant.
Oof.
And I was pushing like 3 bill. I was easy. I was well over 300 pounds. And he just picked me up and just hit his finisher on me. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
But yeah, he was a good dude, man. And like I've said before, I've said he helped me a lot with, in ECW with when it came to, you know, knowing my worth and, hey man, how much you making? I tell him, he'd be like, oh, go ask Paul for this. Okay. I went and asked Paul, and Paul's like, sure. And I was like, holy shit, that worked. You know, Bigelow looked out for me, you know, and like I've said before, you know, there's one day I'm sitting in the locker room and he goes, hey man, I know you don't want to kill your gimmick, and you're not trying to be Charles Atlas, but if you go to the gym, you know, have a strong set of wheels, you know, meaning, you know, just go to the gym, ride a bike, do some cardio. Just, it's like, there's nothing worse than being a big guy and, you know, your legs feel like they're fucking spaghetti, you know, just noodles, you know. And so he helped me in so many different ways, and it's stuff I try to pass on to younger folks as well, you know, especially big guys. like myself,
Yeah, I always enjoyed watching Bam Bam. He was always one of my favorite heels in WWE, and then watching him in ECW, having basically a brand new career over there, and then WCW, he was one of my favorites. I really enjoyed watching Bam Bam, and we thank you for Bam Bam questions. Any chance I feel like we could talk about him is super dope, because it's been an unfortunate amount of time since he's been gone, but there's just something so cool about him as an individual and him as a wrestler. We really enjoy. So send your Bam Bam questions if you have them. But I also want to thank you all for sending these questions in, because we love answering them for you to hear every week. So don't forget to tweet us using the hashtag AskMeanie, and you may hear them on the program. Meanie, I want to thank you, sir, for being a part of the show.
Thank you.
As always. And I want to know, as we get ready to wrap up this week's episode, where can everyone keep up to date with all things blue when they're not listening to us here in their ears?
If you would like to follow Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, at Blue Meanie on all forms of social media. If you would like to support the Blue Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Blue Meanie. If you would like to support the Mind of the Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Colin Elbow, the wrestling brand, go to colinelbowbrand.com. Use coupon code Meanie, or use coupon code MIND. Save 10% over there at colinelbowbrand.com. MadCatBeardCare.com for all your beard care needs. A big fellow like myself, got a bearded fellow like myself. You want to look good, you want to smell good, go to MadCatBeardCare.com and get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Shout out to my boy Josh Thornton, doing an amazing job over there, taking care of the cats, rounds them up, takes them to the vet, and lets them back out in the wild better than they found them. So go to MadCatBeardCare.com and get some Blue Spruce. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles in 2024. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters created by the amazing Hal Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and several others I'm trying not to spoil. If you want more information, go to ultraprowrestling.com. That's ultraprowrestling.com, or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. That's ultraprowrestling.com, and on Twitter, UPW Video Game. The figure collection's bone-crushing Wrestler Series 1 variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. They might be selling out soon. All Series 1s can be ordered now at figurecollections.com. That's shop.figurecollections.com. Go to shop.figurecollections.com, type Blue Me into the search bar, and buy either old school Blue Meanie or BWO Blue Meanie. Either way, there's no wrong choice. Shout out to Jim Nielsen over at glaciersofice.com. Jim made a 3 of 3 only handmade BWO custom, I might add, a BWO Air Jordan 1 sneaker for Stevie Nova and myself. Each pair takes Jim about 50 hours per pair. If you want to see these awesome looking pairs of shoes, it's like artwork for your feet. Follow him on Instagram at Glacier Art Studio. That's Instagram at Glacier Art Studio. That the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's PODSTARZ.net. Register your podcast and then book the blue guy for your podcast over there at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holiday, and well wishes. Do yourself a favor and do me a favor. Do all the talent a favor. Book through the site. Don't book through the app. The app takes way too much of your hard-earned dollars that the talent doesn't get for doing these awesome videos for you. So go to cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes, and book through the site. But most importantly, Mr. Barnard, where can we find you, sir?
Oh, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Excuse me. You can find me at Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads. Threads, I'm still on there right now, I think. Who knows when Elmo's Hellscape Bird app is going to finally crash, so I try to be as cross-posting as possible, but you can find me on all those apps at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand pal, so go and check that out. Also, you can check out Foundation Radio by going to foundationradio.net and then also subscribing at youtube.com/@FoundationRadioPod. I'm going to start to really be branching out with that show soon. Going to be starting to do a lot of different commentaries. Hopefully some more conversations will be coming as well. So go and check us out there. Also, Meanie, I have some news for you at the end of the program, actually. So every week when I do my run through here, we talk about our Wrestle buddies at brothersgaddor.com.
Oh, yeah.
And I great folks over there, fantastic people. And I keep saying, like, hey, you want to make sure you get one before they sell out. Because once they're gone. And guess what? They're fucking sold out.
Oh, wow.
The Adam Barnard Wrestle Buddies are officially sold out at brothersgaddor.com. Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone who picked one up, everyone who supported me with this project. It was a lot of fun. Potentially, maybe I'll do another one. Who knows? But for now, they are gone and off the site. But the Blue Meanie Wrestle Buddy is still available, so go pick one up today at brothersgaddor.com. And get one there. Also, the Feinberg Method. Go to thefeinbergmethod.com and use promo code Goober and save up to 20% off of your entire purchase. My trainer, Brad Feinberg, is ready to help you with your physical and mental well-being. So go there right now, thefeinbergmethod.com. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop in Lawrenceville in the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You want to go get trimmed up and look good, go to the 10th Ward Barbershop and set up your appointment today at 10thwardbarbershop.com. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie, ProWrestlingTees.com/Foundation Radio. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa de Meanie and the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. We want to thank the Pod Squad here. Don't forget to sign up today at Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Tiers starting at just $10 to watch us every single week. We want to thank our sponsors, Manscaped and Green Road CBD and Meanie. I haven't even told you this. I'm working on a brand new sponsor for us, which I hope to have rolled out by next week. So we will thank them as well in our read out. So go ahead and support them as well. And we want to thank you for listening as my voice cracks through the end of the read here. So we want to thank you all for being a part of the show. And we will see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel for the Blue Meanie. I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind
Blue World Order.
of the Meanie. Peace.
Blue World Order. This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor. Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.